Confidence is such an important quality of strong character. It's really a form of optimism, a certainty that things are going to turn out the way you want and that you have the power to make that happen. Confidence is also one of the most elusive and misunderstood qualities of a strong character. How do we recognize a confident individual? Is it someone who dresses well, has a firm handshake, a shoe shine, and an intense smile? Perhaps, but more than any other quality, I think confidence is found to a greater degree in what we give to others than in what we have within or about ourselves. Confidence has to do with inspiring trust, which you can only do by having faith in other people. Confidence enables you to walk into a room full of strangers and converse with anyone without fear. It imparts poise and bearing. It makes the strangers in that room think, here is someone I not only can talk to, but here's someone I want to talk to. A confident person makes everyone around them feel at ease. Feeling right makes others feel right, and they, in turn, give back what's inside them, the very confidence that you give out. It's like sounding an A for an orchestra. Every instrument with an A string answers in sympathetic vibration. Confidence is the right note. And other people's confidence is the sympathetic vibration. It's confidence that makes people want to believe what you say to them, want to accept you as you present yourself. But confidence is more than something that passes between two individuals on their way through the day or through their lives. Confidence is the entire basis of a truly confident person's character. Belief in oneself is strong enough to believe in others. Conversely, distrust in yourself breeds distrust in everyone you meet. A confident person gives you confidence. She creates confidence in others. The strength of her character makes you a stronger character. The question for us here is, how do you and I develop confidence? How do I learn to believe in myself so that others will believe in me too? George Washington was the commander of the American Army during our War of Independence from Great Britain. Why did the Continental Congress ask Washington to lead the troops? And how could he, a landowner and surveyor and formerly loyal subject to King George of England, find the strength and confidence to ask his fellow colonists to lay down their lives fighting seasoned troops in the greatest army of the richest, most powerful nation in the world? Although Washington was a British subject, his roots were in America, the world he knew and loved. The land which gave him his life was here, not in England. As a youth, Washington had traveled with the British Army, surveying unmapped territories in the New World, while England fought the French and Indian War. So Washington had first-hand knowledge of both the terrain where he had to fight and of the enemy he would oppose. And because he traveled with the army as a surveyor instead of as an officer, George Washington knew the temper and stuff of the men he would actually have to fight and understood that with fortitude, patience, and confidence in the justness of the colonial cause, his little army could and would prevail largely through his ability to impart his own inner confidence to the men fighting under him. George Washington of Virginia was able to not only win the war against the Redcoats, but also to be called the father of his country, and no amount of historical debunking from his time to now has managed to tarnish the image he has left us. George Washington still inspires confidence, and his face is found on that one piece of paper that has the respect of the entire world, the American dollar bill. Here it's clearly a case of the face inspiring the confidence rather than the number on the bill giving value to the face. There are 3 areas we have to talk about before you're ready to add confidence to the other building blocks of your unshakable character. First, develop the quality of inspiring confidence by uncovering your own confidence in who you are and how you were raised. Second, see how you can derive confidence from the formal education and training you've received and the characteristics of your teachers and mentors. Third, draw confidence from the challenges and experiences you've had in all areas of your life and the success you've had in dealing with them. Let's look at each one of these areas one by one. First, to grow up at all means you have certain kinds of vital equipment necessary to survive in this tough, technical, highly developed world of ours. Your parents taught you basic skills: how to walk, how to eat and later feed yourself, what to eat, and perhaps good manners. You were given a certain amount of physical strength and mental endowments. Maybe you aren't a rocket scientist, but maybe you know how to fix a lawnmower, something many rocket scientists cannot do. Maybe you don't have a degree in accounting, but you can tell a joke so well that a whole room will roar with laughter. What are your strong points? They have to be there, or you wouldn't have made it this far. Maybe you can save money. Maybe you know how to find things like somebody's lost contact lenses. Chances are you not only have a personal strength, a gift or talent or real ability that should be a source of pride and give you real confidence, but it's something you take so for granted that you don't realize what it's worth. We're not talking about what's difficult for you, but about what comes easy. Just because it's easy for you to cut through with a crosscut saw doesn't mean that it's easy for everybody. Your talent and skill is what you take for granted and maybe don't value enough. Talent isn't hard work, it's what's a snap. Second, if you grew up in this country, you attended school, and more than likely have a high school education, here's another case of almost everybody's got it and I've got it. So why should I take confidence in my diploma? First of all, not everybody's got that diploma. And second, this is one of the few countries in the world where almost everyone can read, write, and do math. So we take for granted something that in the backwoods of nowhere would probably qualify you to be president or the king or the big boss. So boss, don't sell that sheepskin short because you do have it. You wouldn't think of it as nothing if you didn't have one. Also, your teachers and mentors who showed you the ropes at the first job or at the new place saw something in you that you maybe didn't see yourself. Want to know what that something is exactly? Well, if you can pinpoint what they gave you, what they showed you, you will see yourself through the eyes of that other person, that teacher or mentor or newfound friend. Because what they give you is what they see in you, already invisible to yourself. If they didn't see that you were capable of running that machine, taking that order, landing that account, or making that sale just as they were capable, then they wouldn't bother to teach you in the first place. They had confidence in abilities that you may not have known you had, and they shared that confidence with you because you already had the skill. You only needed the sharing. Third and lastly, and even more important than where you were born, who your parents are, whether or not you went to any school or the right school, and whether or not anyone stood by you or showed you the ropes, you have lived and you are here. You have the richest bank to draw upon. You have experience. You may have traveled around the world. You may have known many people and learned the ways of other lands and other languages. Or you may have experienced life in the same place among people you've known all your life and known them in a way that no one on the move, forever dealing with new faces and new friends, can ever know another person. That's your bankroll. That's where you can learn and draw from with confidence. Because the thing about experience is it really works. If it didn't, you wouldn't be here. You'd be dead and not caring. And I'm sure that you have some confidence in life, because here you are listening to me talk, and maybe even getting that sympathetic vibration, which is the confident tone that sounds in all of us. What could you do if you had all the skills, took the classes, read the books, burned the midnight oil? What could you truly achieve? The value you could develop is immense. This exercise challenges us to explore our potential, to envision the heights we could reach in the marketplace, in enterprise, and in our personal lives. Imagine your impact on your home, family, and friends, in love, friendship, and marriage. Reflect on how valuable you could become. Are you willing to work on what's not working so you can reach your full capacity? If you're currently operating at 20%, what possibilities lie in the remaining 80%? Understanding your value is transformative. Realizing your self-worth plays a major role in your ability to be self-enterprising. It's the difference between being lazy and being active. If you don't feel good about yourself, you won't feel good about your life, and this lack of enthusiasm will stifle your interest in seeking opportunities. Enterprise is always better than ease. Every time you choose to do less than you possibly can, it affects your self-confidence and self-worth. Doing a little less every day gradually diminishes your potential. Imagine the devastating impact of 10 years of doing less each day. But this process can be reversed by using self-direction, self-reliance, and discipline. By doing a little more each day, you'll develop a new habit of action over neglect. Over time, this habit will increase your confidence, courage, creativity, and self-worth. In the end, it's how we feel about ourselves that provides the greatest reward from activity and enterprise. Success is not in the having, but in the doing. It's the process of doing that brings value. It's the activity that transforms dreams into reality, converting ideas into actuality. One of the biggest detriments to the mind is doing less than you can. It causes psychic damage and erodes your self-image. Conversely, extending yourself and doing more brings immediate rewards. not necessarily monetary, but in how you feel about yourself. It's not what you get that makes you valuable, but what you become. Discover all you can do. See how much you can earn, share, start, finish, and extend your influence. Positive affirmations are not enough on their own. Without action, affirmations are delusions. Discipline is essential for progress. Affirmations must be coupled with action and must be based on truth. If the truth is that you're broke, admitting it can motivate you to change it. Confronting harsh realities leads to positive change. Accepting the truth frees the promise of the future from deception. Discipline is closely tied to self-worth and self-esteem. Neglect starts as a small infection and can become a disease, diminishing self-worth and confidence. The smallest discipline, consistent with your own philosophy, can restore self-respect. By starting small and gradually building disciplines, you can weave a tapestry of a disciplined life. This life becomes a vessel for wisdom, attitude, strong feelings, faith, and courage. The early returns on this investment in discipline will excite you and commit you to this strategy for life. Joining a new group or crowd that values discipline can help reinforce these habits. Self-esteem is defined by how much you like, respect, and value yourself in interactions with others. Building self-esteem is like physical fitness. It can be developed over time through specific actions. To build self-esteem, first, have a clear sense of who you are and what you want. Identify your best qualities, skills, and past successes. Second, set goals. Ambitious goals improve your self-image and self-esteem, making you more confident and happier. Third, practice self-discipline by setting priorities and completing tasks. Task completion boosts self-esteem and releases endorphins, making you feel like a winner and motivating you to achieve more. In summary, understanding and improving your self-worth through discipline, goal setting, and action is crucial. Affirm your value by consistently striving to do your best, facing truths, and taking responsibility. The rewards are not just in what you accumulate, but in the person you become. All right, we have two major subjects to cover to finish up with. The first one is negative, and the second one is positive. It's a good way to wrap up a seminar like this today, some negative and some positive. Let me first give you some tips on the negative that really helped me. These have been so valuable for me, and I think you'll appreciate them too. On the negative side, you can see that negative is normal. This was incredibly helpful for me to understand. It's not weird to be negative. Negative is normal. It's a part of the human experience and a part of all our experiences. Everyone faces the negative side of life at some point. While negative isn't successful, it is normal, meaning it's an inevitable part of life. Negative is not to be ignored. Negative is very real. The moment you plant a garden, the bugs and weeds come out to take over. We deal with two things in life: opportunity and the threat to that opportunity. Negative is the threat, and we must acknowledge it. Ignoring the negative won't make it go away. You can't just say, there are no weeds, and expect them to disappear. You have to deal with the reality of negative forces. Negative is to be mastered or conquered. This is a crucial part of the life experience. We must learn to conquer or master the negative aspects of life. The twin scenarios of life, negative and positive, are what make life unique. Would there be positive without negative? It doesn't seem like it. This duality seems necessary for a complete human experience. Life is about balancing and managing both sides. Understanding this balance is key. Negative experiences are a part of life and can make us appreciate the positive even more. Life struggles and challenges are what give value to our successes and achievements. Now let's move on to the positive side, which I also want to cover in two parts. These tips have helped me greatly, and I hope they will help you too. Profits are better than wages. This philosophy was life-changing for me. Wages make you a living, but profits can make you a fortune. Once I understood this, it revolutionized my economic life. You can start a part-time venture and gradually build it into a profitable business. This concept is about working full-time on your job, but part-time on your fortune until your profits surpass your wages. The words "let's do it" are incredibly powerful. Associating with like-minded individuals can be a game changer. Working together and supporting each other can amplify your efforts and results. Having a support system and camaraderie can make the journey more enjoyable and successful. To wrap up, remember that life is a balance of both negative and positive experiences. Negative is normal and not to be ignored. It needs to be mastered. Positive experiences, on the other hand, can be amplified through smart strategies like focusing on profits and the power of association. Think of life as a symphony that includes both high, happy notes and deep, intense crashes. Both elements are necessary to create a full, rich experience. Drink from both cups, negative and positive. This balance will lead to a more fulfilling and authentic life.